your response very shortly. Here we go, though, into the final, Brandon.
And here we go then. This is our grand final. $10,000 on the line, plus the chance to bag yourself some serious Global Series ranking points that will get you up those rankings and push you towards a playoff spot. We've waited months to see Nicolas back on the forefront in terms of the Global Series and in South America. We've waited a long time to see it. And now we're seeing it in front of our very own eyes. The question is, can he go the extra step to maybe do the double on Tori? It was a 3-3 match and then a penalty shootout in the winners bracket final earlier today in our first game on the PlayStation 4. Unfortunately for Tor, he lost that game, had to go down to the loser bracket, but that didn't faze him, Richard, because he was 3-0 down against Matheus Bonanno, the champion from qualifier number 1. And what did he do? He turned it around and then won on the penalty shootout. So he's got a sort of love-hate relationship with penalties at the moment, this Tor.
I mean, all his penalties that he took were really good, to be honest. And he got really unlucky in the first game against Nicolas. He dove down the middle, the pole sort of went through him a little bit. You've also got to remember, on penalties, there's no target there. It's completely done sort of off your own back. You've got no real guidance. I think that's the best way of saying it. And it's different experience taking penalties with no guidance and no target on.
Of course, let us know in the chat who you think is going to win this game. Nicolas or Tor. Remember, Nicolas can get it done in 2 legs. Tor will have to do it in 2 individual 2-legged matches of FIFA. That is the advantage that Nicolas has from being in that winner's bracket. So technically, he's got a second lifeline if he needs it, Richard, but Nicolas will be hoping that he doesn't need to use that. Comes forward now, Marcus Rashford. It was such a tight game when they played earlier today. Expect the same type of game in this one, especially with more money on the line. More Global Series points and so much more pride at stake. Ronaldo pushed out wide in this interesting 4-5-1 that Nicolas has been playing. It's like he creates his own meta, this man. Midfield 3 of Vieira, Roberto Firmino and Ruud Gullit, which we must say, Ruud Gullit and Bobby Firmino, they're both players that can get forward and score goals because that's what they've done today.
No, they really have. Both Firmino and Gullit. They've got forward in attacks, they've been the extra man to make up numbers, and they've had a real impact on the games that they've been featured in.
Bounce back there to David De Gea. Does get away with that one. Well, Nicolas so far, 22 minutes into this one. This is your PlayStation 4 Grand Final for qualifier number 2 here in South America. Monthly qualifiers at the moment on the road to the FIFA E-World Cup Grand Final. Ball back to the goalkeeper there. Chance just to reset. Take a couple of seconds to recompose yourself for Tor. Long ball forward, really well done. Touched upon it on commentary earlier today, Richard. It seems like everyone's got their own danger man. We've had Pelés, R9s, not many Johan Cruyffs. I mean, Tor's the only one that we've actually seen use Cruyff.
But boy, has he been effective with him. You look at what he's been able to do with Cruyff in the final third. He's been the real danger man for him.
Rashford, there's a cutback, and that's Nicolas. Finally. Finding the breakthrough. He's been on top for the first 29 in-game minutes in this game. And in my opinion, it was only a matter of time before he was going to break the deadlock in it. Fantastic cutback. And an even better finish from Kylian Mbappe. You'd probably say deserve, Richard, of how this game is being played at the moment.
Great work, again, down this right-hand side. In the first game of the day, it was down Nicolas's right side with Cuadrado and many other players on this right-hand side. Gullit, Rashford getting involved and trying to work those attacks. And again, Kylian Mbappe, right place, right time to slot past the goalkeeper. Tor has to come out again and come from behind.
Labari said it in the pre-match chat before this final. It's like Tor loves to put himself in a bit of a predicament with a challenge in front of him. He was 3-0 down against Matheus Bonanno, and that was his wake-up call to get himself going and to pull out a really important 3-goal comeback. That's not the greatest balls to Heung-min Song there. Just caught him off guard. Once again, as you expect to see from Nicolas, ice cold in every single expression. Hopefully we'll see him crack a smile if he has come out on top here. He said in his pre-match interview, I should say post-match interview, after he won his game against Tor, he said, whether I play in that grand final, whether it's Matthias, whether it's Oleg, whether it's Tor, they're all going to be tough opponents. There's so much talent coming through South America at the moment. I'm sure he probably didn't expect to maybe actually have a rematch against Tor. Does that change a lot of things? Because they've played each other before?
I don't know. With how tight the game was, I don't think you really can read too much into it. I think what we can read more into is the fact that Tor has then gone through Matthias in a long, drawn-out, two-legged game and got the better of him. I think that's what we can potentially read more into. But the fact that they've played before, they'll have played multiple times before. The two players that have been in the scene for a number of years, at the very top. I don't see it being that much of a factor.
Cruyff back inside. And I think you've hit the nail on the head there, Richard. Because these two are so tightly contested in every single aspect of the field. That might be the first chance we've seen from Tor, but who cares? That ball's in the back of the net. Cruyff into Cristiano Ronaldo. And the rest was history. Just before the stroke of half-time, Cruzeiro's Tor responds in the best way possible via a Cristiano Ronaldo-esque goal. Will there be enough time for one more attack for Nicolas? Mbappe dancing. Goes for a corner. Bear in mind, there's been literally no added time. Corner played in towards that danger area. Ooh, David De Gea was in no man's land. Got to get that ball back into the box towards the back post till it's there, and so's David De Gea. Just to snatch that off the head of the icon from Holland. And there you go, half time between these two. But if I'm Tor right now, I'm taking that. One long ball forward.
Quite lucky, weren't it?
Cruyff back to Ronaldo, and now he's sort of in a 1-1 situation. This game's so open.
Yeah, the way the ball sort of bounced up to Cruyff inside the box and Ronaldo got on the end of it, it was quite fortunate. He's still in that 4-1-2-1-2, is Tor. We've got a 4-5-1 up against a narrow 4-1-2-1-2. You see his custom tactics if you wanted to play like Nicolas. And the player instructions, a great insight into what the Argentinian superstar does use in-game. But as we've said many times today, Brandon, another level playing field.
It really was. And they played earlier today. Such a tightly contested game. The first game did finish 1-1 between them. And then they played another 19 minutes in leg 2. That finished 1-1. So 2-2 in aggregate. Went to extra time. That finished 1-1 as well. So they've been so evenly matched. Chance now for Tor. Back to goal. Ah, right for me now. I don't know what happened there. Just cleared that one out for a goal kick. One to forget from the Liverpool forward. That's his foot freeze item. Players have been loving using in a CDM role. As a player that can get forward. We often talk about it with CDMs. If you play a 4-2-3-1, how key it is to have, of course, two box-to-box midfielders, but to have a player that can go forward and could make things happen. That's normally Bruno Fernandes we've seen in recent times, maybe partnered alongside a Vieira or a Kante. However, we've seen so many different variations in South America. Mbappe trying to dance his way past Joe Gomez. No way through on that occasion. Tor. He'll have another attack now.
I think a shot could have opened up there for Kylian Mbappe out of the double step over. He wanted to turn back onto the angle and then shoot across the goalkeeper. He's player of percentages is Nicolas. He'll always try and take the highest percentage chance of scoring, not really waste a lot of opportunities.
He's torn out. Ronaldo trying to push that past the defender into the feet of Johan Cruyff. If you have just tuned in, this is the grand final here in South America. $10,000 up for grabs in this grand final, alongside the bragging rights. Headed into qualifier number 3, fastly approaching next month. Back to Vieira. That's where the best FIFA players can really crack under the pressure or thrive under it. You get to the edge of the box, you're literally running into about 6 defenders. You've got 2 CDMs in front of you normally and 4 defenders. It's one of them. It's like, what do? You need a bit of trickery. You need to be patient.
You also need to be patient. You need to be creative, but you also need to be somewhat adventurous. That's an awful offside trap. He's on.
Oh no, this could be a gift of a goal. Mbappe, ball around the goalkeeper. This is the grand final. You can't make mistakes like that. It's a high-risk, high-reward solution, the offside trap. And unfortunately, that has just not worked in the favour of Tor at all there.
But just as I was saying, you need to have all those things, Brandon, but you also need to take risks as well on the edge of the box. If space opens up for a finesse shot, have a shot. If you think a double tap might work, play it. Don't be too safe, because a lot of the time we see safe play on the edge of the box. And on Ultimate Team, on Weekend League, you can be safe and people will make mistakes. People will pull players out of position. Against other pros, that won't happen. You won't get a gimme, as we just saw right there. They're 1 in 100.
It's one of them. If Tor was to lose this game overall, he hasn't got many fond memories to look back on. He's got a penalty shootout and potentially an offside trap. I know we're a long way away from that scenario. This is a grand final. He can't make those mistakes. There's no second chances compared to what he did have earlier today in that winner's bracket. He had a second chance in the loser bracket. Nicolas has a second chance in this grand final because he has come through that winner's bracket, has not tasted defeat yet, so you know how the loser bracket and the winner's bracket work. Nicolas has an advantage in that you can go to another game of 2 legs if he needs to. Of course, he won't want that to happen. 16 minutes left here. Punch that into the path of Neymar. He goes down to ground. Referee says, no, that's a fair tackle from Vieira. Ball's coming in. It's going to be the usual names we see from Tor, Richard. Is it going to be Wissam Ben Yedder, Alessandrini?
He'd be bringing Renato Sanchez on at right back as well.
Acres of space. There's a lot of space for Nicolas to drive into. Cristiano Ronaldo back to Roberto Firmino.
The reason he's got so much space, Brandon, is because Tor's playing a narrow 4-1-2-1-2.
Got to be careful there. Ronaldo with a chance. Oh, went on his own and he needed the leg or the knee of David De Gea to keep that chance out.
Still on.
Nicolas just ticking over though. Looking in control, as some would say. Look how far forward Hullet is. He is so key and so vital in the attacking third. The way that Nicolas plays with that midfield 3 across the 4-5-1. One more around the corner. Marcus Rashford, scoop turn. Fantastic block at the back there from Hernandez.
It's actually quite a poor pass from Ruud Gullit, in all honesty. If he'd have put a little bit more on that pass, he could have played it into his path. Instead, he sort of just shuffled it into his feet, meaning that the first touch had to be an actual dribble touch, not a shot.
Theo Hernandez again. Back to Vieira. Theo Hernandez still with it. That's the left back. Let's remember that. Look how far forward he's bombing on forward. To just try and make things difficult. Johan Cruyff so out wide. He's a 5-star player. I should say a 5-star weak foot player. The Dutch forward. Get him in the centre. Could be a gift for Ronaldo. Last chance of this game. There will be a second leg to come. Let's not forget that. 2-1. Nicolas leads. Added time of just a minute. Ball's got to stay forward, or at least in this sort of area. The minute's been played. Is Nicolas home and dry for leg number 1? Just got to defend against Juan Cuadrado and then clear it out. There you go. That's leg number 1 in the bag of our PlayStation Grand Final here. Nicolas leads by 2-1, and in the nicest way possible, Richard, for Tor. $750. This time round, if he wins today, he'll win $10,000. The difference is, this time from the comfort of his own home, alongside taking potentially top spot on those Global Series rankings heading into qualifier number 3, or at least it'll be second, I should say. Matheus Bonano should still be top, and with the points that he's accumulated from a top 3 finish. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Nicolas wins this on aggregate. He will be your champion for qualifier number 2. We may not have seen him for quite a few months, but who really cares when he's coming back and playing FIFA like he has today? He's looked in control, and now it's for Cruzeiro's tour to rip up the script for this man's return and to say, you know what, it's not just you in this region anymore, as we've already seen. We've seen Matheus Bonano, we've seen so many big names here in South America. Let's see how this one does play out. Tour kicking from left to right in that Chelsea strip. Nicolas from right to left.
We often talk about the importance of the first goal, Brandon, but seeing what Tor did against Matheus, I'm not sure it is that important. He was 3-0 down and turned around 3 goals in what?
Yeah.
Do we say 13, 14 in-game minutes? So the first goal is important. I think it's a different kettle of fish if Nicolas gets it, because Nicolas, you would put your house on him not to concede 2 goals and to see a game out, in all honesty.
Different this time as well, isn't it? This is the final. Nicolas would want to do everything he can within his power to resist this going into a second 2-legged game. Chance now. Oh, I nearly got that one through to Mbappe's feet. Cried out for more chances though from Tor. Is this where we're going to see him? Cruyff. Cut back into Heung-min Son. Can he play the one more pass? Goes on his own. Great save from Ederson. Out he goes for a corner. One played short. To the feet of the Dutch icon. Great ball. That can be whipped in again to the box. This time Theo Hernandez is there.
You saw Nicolas's face cam. He's a player that I like to read a lot into, because he doesn't give you a lot. He really doesn't give you a lot of facial expressions or real sort of, you would say, reaction. But whenever the ball goes out, it's just a little deep breath, maybe a neck crack, a hand movement, a look to his coach. He knows how important seeing out this first half is in terms of the complexion of this game, because Tor is going to press more bodies forward and there is going to be a more intensified attacking presence in the second half.
Let's say Nicolas, when you see him in person out of compete, such a smiley guy. As soon as he's in a tournament, game faces on. Makes you think. The crazy thing about Nicolas is, right, you think back to that E-World Cup Grand Final where he was in. Chance now for Nicolas, great block. He was in a PlayStation final on a penalty shootout. I don't even think he looked worried.
No, he really didn't.
At the O2 Arena, that was a $100,000 game of FIFA, I believe. Unfortunately, yes, he did lose on penalties, but he's got such a poker face, Nicolas99FC. Such a big name in this scene. Already accumulated over $250,000 in prize earnings at 21 years of age. He has been paving the way for FIFA Esports. He's been one of those big names, and I'm sure would have inspired a lot of South American talent to pick up a controller and
He's
start
very
to play.
risky across the back here. I'm just going to throw it out there. He looks very composed, but maybe that's the reason Ederson's in goal. Because one thing I've noticed with Nicolas, he's been passing back to the goalkeeper a lot. He's been getting his goalkeeper, if in doubt, he's going all the way back all the time. Maybe that's why Ederson is used. He's probably the best goalkeeper with his feet on FIFA.
I can't back that up. I did use him in as a striker last weekend, and he was actually my second top goal scorer, Richard. So he does know where the goal is. I mean, that's not his job.
Who were number one?
An informed called Jordi Masip from Spain. Very good goalkeeper. Recommend him.
Just as a striker, not an actual GK.
He was a GK, but he played up top. 14 goals he scored, but Ederson, I backed that up. I mean,
you scored 14 goals with the goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's top goal scorer. He scored like
how many wins did you get?
I got 3 after 21 games.
Okay.
I mean, I couldn't do any more after that. I was It's completely done by that point. I'd love to see a pro player use a full goalkeeper team. I mean, that's a conversation for another day, but I wonder how far they'd get. Here comes Nicolas. Hunting for that 2-goal cushion. Ronaldo drops the shoulder back to Mbappe. Is it time for Ruud Gullit now? One round the corner. This is absolutely... Oh, no! How has that not gone in? How on earth has that not gone in? There was a bit of goalkeeper move, but still... I mean, it was an open goal.
Entire goal to aim at, and it's hit the post. That is outrageous how that's not gone in.
Nicolas left just to scratch his head and say, what has happened there? I mean, what more can I do? Added time to follow here in half-time. With match number 2, Nicolas still leads by 2-1, but he'll be thinking to himself, how am I not 3-1 up? Is that going to do us for half-time? It certainly will. Richard, that was the chance of the game so far. Goalkeeper was moved again. It's easy for us to sit here and say, oh, you should have waited for the goalkeeper to move. You always anticipate if there is going to be movement. You've got to react before that even happens. Nicolas guessed the wrong way. I'm not saying the wrong way. He gets towards the goal and unfortunately just hit the post. I mean, inches the other way. That's in the bottom corner and that's 3-1 on aggregate.
Yeah, a real sort of crazy turn of events. Something that you can't predict, in all honesty. However, one thing that you can predict, that hits the post and many other players maybe shout, maybe they stand up. I don't even think Nicolas cracked a smile. He literally, I think it was a scratch of the head and that were it. Unbelievable sort of just mental fortitude from Nicolas.
He's 45 minutes away, Richard, from getting something back in that trophy cabinet for the FIFA 21 year. Every single time we have a tournament in South America, you say, where is Nicolas? Where is he? Didn't see him in the Summer Cup series, didn't see him much last year on FIFA 20. It was a tough year for many FIFA players. It's always the case. Some players peak at different times in the season. That's why the Global Series is so special. Such a long season. As we said, there's 5 qualifiers for South America. That means we could have 5 different winners. We could have PH Zin go and win it 5 times as well on the Xbox, and we've already seen him win 2 of them. There's so much opportunity for people to peak at different times when the likes of Team of the Year drops, Team of the Season drops towards the latter stage of the year, and playoffs are on the horizon. And Nicolas looks as if he's found his way. They're playing FIFA 21 so far. This game is definitely still open. We've just got to see more from Tor. Can he create a chance again? Just a player in the way, so it seems. Long ball forward. I'll tell you what, it's a really long ball forward. He's going to win that in the air. Ronaldo's going to give it a go. And Cuadrado.
Typical Edison, wasn't it, that? Just absolute pinged up top.
It was actually a decent pass as well. 9 times out of 10, it's out for a throw-in. Rashford. Fake shot stop on the ball. Chance to break forward. Gullit. Lovely turn. Oh, he did so well to get round his man, but didn't expect to have so much space. Still Mbappe punches it back to Marcus Rashford. And in possession will change hands. 30 in-game minutes now left in this one. All that is left. 30 in-game minutes away from booking a place. I was going to say, write his name onto that winners list in South America. Long ball forward, Cristiano Ronaldo. Been really impressed with this formation. I don't know what it is. Is it the 4-5-1 that offers him maybe an extra option in the midfield that then...
Just that extra body. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
It's an overload for the 2 CDMs as well, for your standard 4-2-3-1. Here is Juan Cuadrado, of all people. Play the one more pass. He goes on his own.
That's very surprising. I thought he was just going to square that. Little double tap into Ronaldo's path and get the guaranteed goal, but he went with Juan Cuadrado, probably back to the right back to score. Now you're seeing a couple of changes coming on. Atal and Tavernier, the fullbacks, are replaced, and also one of those 3 centre mids, I would imagine, making way for Renato Sanchez would be my suggestion, but it is Roman Alessandrini as an outside centre mid. Tavernier and Atal brought on. See the stats from the game: 92% possession, 92% passing accuracy. It's not a squad battles game. For Nicolas, just over 50% possession.
And the one stat that cries out to me, Richard, is Tor. One shot. That's all we've seen from him. And I can't imagine how frustrating and difficult it must be to play against Nicolas. Player that will look to control the game, dictate the game. Chance now for Hullet. Back to goal. Lovely fake shot. Alessandrini to put the game to bed. What a save there. I mean, David De Gea, he has been remarkable. Hullet off his line. Does punch that one away. Still, though, not dealt with, but David De Gea has been the star of the show. For Cruzeiro's Tor, Hakimi. He's fresh off the bench. He's got a lot of pace that he can down that right-hand side, which of course maybe a couple of questions for Nicolas. All he's got to do is score a goal. Shot from distance, back to Min-sung again. Lovely chance around the corner, even better save. Ederson. Right time, right place, the right save just to parry that one away.
Still plenty of time left for Tor to snatch a goal.
Could be a chance. One round the corner, Alessandrini, back to Ronaldo. And Nicolas can't believe it. He knows he's been on top for so long in this game, but that means 2-2 on aggregate.
Big money moments right there. Roman Alessandrini popping up at the back post for Tor to smash in to the back of the net.
I mean, even if it does remain at 2-2, we will be going into extra time, ladies and gentlemen. 16 in-game minutes left. Remember, Tor has to go and win again over 2 individual legs if he was to win this one. Has that goal affected Nicolas?
If he wants to win
thinking, how have I not scored?
Get the time machine out, because we are getting a hard reset if he is winning this game. Nicolas, he's had chances to put this game to bed.
Pull it now. Back to Alessandrini. Can he be the super sub of dreams, the Frenchman? He's been in control, Nicolas, but you know how FIFA goes. You only need one chance, one good chance, and you can bring yourself back in the tie. That's been the case for Tor. Eight in-game minutes left now. Narrow margins between these two in your PlayStation Grand Final. Vieira. Back to Bobby Firmino. Is Tor about to pull off a remarkable goal for Alessandrini. Back to Ben Yedder. Min-sung trying to dance his way into the box. He's lofted towards the back post. Ederson can only punch it away. Three in-game minutes left. How the tables have turned. It's all Cruzeiro's Tor now. It's him with all the possession. Nicolas has to sit back and just take this attack. Wait for his chance to pounce to get the ball back forward. Is that a bad pass? Oh.
Surely not penalties again.
I mean, we've got to go to extra time first. This could be a chance. Ronaldo. Extra time, ladies and gentlemen. Strap yourselves in. We're not done yet. And either of these two. Tor wins that game by a goal to nil. Aggregate scoreline of 2-2. 30 more in-game minutes will be needed, Richard Buckley, to find if we are going to be going into a bracket reset or if Nicolas can pull it off. It's tough for Nicolas now. He's got to pick himself up because he's had great chances in that game. Really good chances.
He has. The one with Juan Cuadrado springs to mind. when he took the ball roll, he went for the near post instead of trying to find it on the square ball. Tor, I think he's had, what, one shot and scored it?
Not far off that, Richard. I think it's about 2 chances he's been able to create in this game. But he still remained in the tie. Even with all the pressure, he's had to face it. Nicolas comes forward with Ronaldo now. You can see his lack of stamina. Into Mbappe. Building into the chance. Hullet fakes the shot. Looking for an option. Is he still? Mbappe does get intercepted eventually by...
So close, isn't it?
Hakimi.
You're just hoping that somebody is going to pull the trigger in this game. He's super cancelled with Ruud Hullet. I think he wanted to play in Rashford on the right wing, and then he just had too many options.
Played by Ruud Hullet there. That's why he's in that team. 4-5-1 then Nicolas has been playing. As you said, it's just been an overload in the midfield. When he's in possession, there's always an extra option. When he's defending, there's an extra man to try and suffocate those attacks. Half time, we're near enough there in extra time now. This literally feels like he could have penalties written all over it. Mbappe. Back to Hullet. Mbappe again. Back to Hullet again. One more, surely play that pass. No, he's cut back into danger. Mbappe, great feet. Oh! The sting was just ripped out of the shot.
He did everything right. He turned back onto his left foot. He sold the defender a dream with the step overs, but just couldn't get any sort of clinical and cutting edge strike when it really mattered. 15 minutes away from another penalty shootout. If Tor was to win said penalty shootout, we would be having a bracket reset.
Well, the 3 changes have been made for Nicolas. It's 2 fullback changes. As we know, Alessandrini's been one of those midfielders. A couple of positional changes. He's happy to go with that. 15 minutes away, Richard, from Nicolas either being the champion of today's tournament in the PlayStation 4 side in South America, or has Cruzeiro's tour got another 2 legs in him. If he wins this game, he will go into that bracket reset. It'll be a clean slate with another 2-legged match between these two to decide the PS4 winner. Tavernier, back to Hullet. So difficult to find a gap in between all these blue shirts at the back.
This could be
Ronaldo. Can he cause some issues? In the box, Cristiano Ronaldo still with it. Back to Hullet. Chance round the corner, back to Hullet again. Still with the Dutchman. Just can't find any space. Hullet again. Is there an option?
Offside trap's being played, forcing him backwards. He couldn't play the ball. He would have just given the ball away on the offside.
Really is those fine margins now between these two. Who's going to make that mistake? Who's going to pull out a player? Who's going to get punished? Oh, good idea there, Mbappe. Went on his own, tried to just with as many heavy touches as he could forward.
He went for the bridge, didn't he? Straight through the gap.
That's where you've got to outsmart your opponent. Stamina on your players low, your subs are even more influential than ever. I mean, this is potentially a 3rd game where Tor is going to go to a penalty shootout. Last time these two played, they went to penalties after a 3-3 scoreline. In a grand final, just a couple of games on from them. They're about to go to another penalty shootout, these two. Unless Nicolas has potentially got a match winner in him now. Tavernier intercepted well. To be honest, I feel like we are going to penalties.
1 added minute.
Nearly. nearly snatched a Hakimi. Outpaces. That was Cristiano Ronaldo on that occasion. This would be remarkable. If he could pull this back.
Penalty is.
Penalty shootout, ladies and gentlemen. To be a champion, Nicolas wins. It will be your PlayStation 4 champion here in South America. Up steps. Tor first, and he'll score with Ben Yedder.
Great penalty from Tor. Roman Alessandrini stepping up to the spot, slots it to the left.
Tor now to make it 2 out of 2. This man is a penalty king, you would say. Hakimi misses.
I think you just jinxed him, Brandon. James Tavernier stepping up to the spot. The Rangers man slots it in.
Perfect pens from Nicolas so far. Alessandrini needs to score this one for Tor, and he will.
Can he make it 3 out of 3? Yusuf Attal. The Algerian, great save.
All square going into penalty number 4 now. Roberto Firmino for Tor. Can he find his way through? He can.
Would say must score penalty here. Kylian Mbappe. Sudden death.
Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. Heung-min Son, that player of the month, Heung-min Son, needs to score. He's in the post. And Nicolas. It's a delayed reaction in the webcam. I think he's won the game. Bullet steps up and he scores. Nicolas will be your champion from the FIFA 21 Global Series qualifier number 2 in South America. He did it in the loser bracket. He's done it in the winners bracket. And he's done it in the grand final. Nicolas99FC. That man has ice in his veins.
And he's been eliminated from the tournament, but that is your winner, Nicolas from FC Basel. Lots of people came to watch him today, and he has delivered on the big stage. Another win in his illustrated history